bar. So for my shoulder to my bust measurement, my nipple measurement is 10 inches. So to my under bust is 14 inches. To my half length is 17 inches. I've explained that in that previous video. And my top length is 24 inches. Okay, so I'm going to have something like this. I'm going to have something like this. I'm just drawing up the lines. Okay, now the next thing you have to do is to mark your breast point. Now your breast point simply means the distance between one nipple to the other. So for me it's about 8 inches. So how will you measure that? You just place your tape measure on one nipple to the second nipple. So I have 4 inches. I'm going to mark 4.5 inches because the half inch is going to be used to join the darts together. So I have 4.5 inches. So I'm going to mark my 4.5 inches all the way down. My 4.5 inches all the way down. So I'm going to use my ruler to connect the lines together. Okay, I'm actually painting it because I want every one of you to see it clearly. That's the reason why I'm actually pressing the chalk on the fabric. But if you are cutting on your own, I don't think it's necessary for you to actually paint the whole fabric like this. Okay, so now what is the next thing we have to do? On our bust measurement, on our this is the bust measurement, this is the under bust, this is our half length, and this is the top length. So on this under bust measurement, mark 1.5 inches. On this under bust measurement, mark 1.5 inches. Okay, now on this your shoulder line, mark 1 inch on your shoulder line. Mark 1 inch for your shoulder line, 1.5 inches on your under bust, and also 1.5 inches on your waist. So what you have to do now is you connect the lines together. You connect the lines together down. You connect your these are bust measurements, right? This is the under bust, this is the waist. You connect your under bust and your waist measurement together. Now this your shoulder where you took 1 inch, connect it to your bust measurement with a straight line. Connect it with your bust measurement with a straight line. Now after when you've done that, you have something like this. Please, I hope you guys can see. You have something like this. Now you have to draw like a curve. You have to draw like a curve to connect these lines together so that you're not going to have a sharp joining. Okay, I hope you can see what I did here. What I did was I took 1 inch at the shoulder, 1.5 inches at the bust, 1.5 inches under bust, 1.5 inches at the waist. So what we did was to connect this 1 inch to the bust with a straight line, and for you to connect this bust to your under bust, you don't want it to have a sharp joining, so you're just going to make use of a curve. If you're not very good at making use of a curve, you could just get a armhole curve just to get that curve at that point. Okay, now what we have to do is to get our flay, okay, for the 6 pieces. Now for you to get your flay for the 6 pieces, it actually depends on the number of inches you want to use. You can make use of 3 inches, 3.5 inches, 4 inches. It depends on the amount of fabric you are working with and how full you want it to be. So for the reason of this video, I'm just going to make use of 3.5 inches. I'm going to make use of 3.5 inches. Now what I have to do is to connect this line as my waist to where I have these 3 inches. You connect this line like this. You could make use of a ruler if you are not very good at drawing it. So let me explain it again so you guys could understand it better. I took 1 inch at my shoulder point. I took my under bust, I took 1.5 inches. For the waist, I took 1.5 inches. That's for the half length. For the half length, okay. For the half length, I took 1.5 inches. And for the top length, I took 3 inches, 3.5 inches for the flay. So we just connect the lines together basically. So we have to cut. So this is like the middle panel for the, this is the middle panel for the front. The middle for the front. Okay, so now let me just cut it out. So we have this at the middle panel. We have this now at the middle panel. So for you to get the two sides, we simply place this middle panel like this. Now, you know, we place it like this, or you could place it like this. It depends on you, but I think placing it like this to me is actually easier to me. So I'll place it like this. Now for me to get my two sides, okay, this is the middle panel. So for me to get the two sides of the front panel, we have, take the basic measurements again. We have our 10 inches for the nipple, we have 14 inches for the underbust, we have 17 inches for the half length, and we have 24 inches for the gown length. Okay, now when you come to the underbust, to the bust, we have 3.5 inches. Let me just see if it's actually showing very well. Okay, I think it's good. We are good to go. We have 3 inches at this point. We have 3 inches at this point. Now for these 3 inches that we have at this point, we are going to bring it to the front like this, because this front panel is going to be here. We have 3 inches at this point, so we take our bust measurement. Our normal bust measurement is what? 11 inches. So we mark the 11 inches. Now we come to the underbust measurement. Now our underbust is what? 13. We mark what we have at this underbust. We have 2.5 inches here. So you bring this 2.5 inches to the front this way, and our underbust is 9.5 inches. So we mark 9.5 inches. I hope you can see that. Now for the half length, that's where we are going to take our waist measurement, definitely. So we mark what we have at this point. We have 3 inches. You bring this 3 inches to the front, then you mark your half length. Now the reason why we are bringing this to the front is because this middle panel for the front is going to come like this. So we just draw our lines, we just connect this slant line together, because this is, don't forget that we used 3 inches. We used 3.5 inches for the play, and I said it depends on how you want it to be full. Okay, now the reason why, what we have to do now is draw this line up. Okay, now of course you're going to be asking me, hi, what about the shoulder, what about our neckline, what about our armhole measurements? How did you get your neckline? How are we going to get our armhole measurements? Now we are cutting this point, make sure it's not sharp. Okay, just make sure it's not sharp. Okay, now for you to get our neckline or the armhole measurements, I would prefer you get that after you've joined it together. I would prefer you get that after you've joined it together. It simply makes it very easy. But if you want to get that, okay, let me just open it up for the sake of this video. Let me just try and show you guys what it's going to, and show you guys what it's going to look like. But I think the best way you can get the armhole or the neckline is to do that after your joining. It just makes it to be very accurate. It doesn't, that's the advantage. It just makes it to be very accurate. So we are going to have something like this. You can see the 6 pieces is already out. Now don't forget to join me on Facebook. Sewing is fun. Sewing is actually fun to me. I don't know about you guys, but to me, sewing is fun. So you can see it. We have this. This is what we have as the 6 pieces top. Now for you to get your neckline and your armhole measurement, it is advisable, if you want to pad it, fine, go ahead and pad it. It is advisable for you to join it together first. Join it together. When you join it together, then you can get your armhole and your neckline. That is the easiest method for you to get your armhole and your neckline. Now, one thing is that this point, just curve this point a little bit in order for your clothes not to be very sharp at the tip. You won't want it to come out very sharp, so just give it like a curved shape at the tip. Just give like a curved shape at the tip so it could be more sexy. So this is what we have basically for 6 pieces top. You can see it is very easy. Let me just show you guys what it actually looks like. So this is what it actually looks like. You can see it. So what you just have to do is to join these points together, join this other point together, then you get your neckline and your armhole. So don't forget to watch the part 2 of this video where I'm going to show you guys how to get the back panel. Okay.